might be hard to see, but all these moves share one crucial concept.
Most riders, when they see something technical in front of them, their instinct is to give it more throttle. And sometimes that works until eventually they get stopped. The problem with relying on speed is that at some point you're going to run out of it. And particularly in technical terrain, especially in hard enduro, control is everything. The fact is, speed isn't an option for obstacles with no running. Sometimes you have to create momentum from a stop.
Come on, man, slingshot it!
What changed everything for me was learning how to actually generate momentum, all from literally the space the tire is covering on the ground.
Slingshot engaged.
We're going to highlight two major components to achieve momentum from a stop. Basically, it's like an equation. It's going to be M equals W plus P. M being the momentum needed, W will be the amount of weight into the pegs, and P is for how much power in the motor that we need. How much power we use and how much pressure we need into the pegs will depend on each situation. There are infinite variations on all of these, but I just want to show you the basic concept and how to accurately coordinate the timing. I have a few different on-trail examples to demonstrate this.
Before we get started, make sure to grab yourself a set of Blues tires. Their gummy tire has lasted me over 40 hours of riding, and their trail riding tires have the same rubber but are a little stiffer with taller knobs to last even longer on the trail. Get yours at riskracing.com. Use code SPLAT10 for 10% off all tires.
So what's actually happening here is we're creating power and delivering power to the rear wheel while we're creating more pressure on the rear tire. This is where that equation comes in. After all, what drives the machine forward is the rear tire. Think of your suspension and your engine as two springs you can load at the same time. Kind of like we're going to compress both of them at the same time and then release them together. Now we're going to get the bike to do most of the heavy lifting for us. We just need to get the timing down. So let's take a look at a drill that will help us get a feel for the sequence of events.
Or popping the... All right, you guys, the first level of coordination is literally just riding in nice and straight. And I have my revs above idle. I don't have my throttle all the way off. I want to kind of keep some energy stored up in the engine at all times. That's a really foundational skill that we should have no matter what we're doing. So that's step one. And then I'm gonna squat weight into the pegs, and I'm just gonna go straight back up. And I'm just gonna try to stay balanced while doing that at a really slow speed. You could roll in a little faster and do it like that just to learn that first step of going down and back up. But eventually you wanna get slow at this and just get the going down and back up part before we worry about blips of throttle or any clutch work. All right, the next thing we gotta do is do that same exact thing we did in the first step, except for now, we're gonna give it a blip of throttle when we're compressing. So on our way down, we're gonna give it a blip of throttle, and you can practice variations of how much throttle you give it here. Just a little blip. On the way down. And then we're working on extending those legs too. We're just trying to get more weight into those pegs. So that's the first two steps of coordination. Just that is really, really tricky to do. Nice, straight, and balanced. Keeping the revs above idle. Kind of slipping the clutch a little bit because the bike's driving forward. But as we're giving it a blip of throttle, we're not really letting that clutch out because we don't want to worry about the lunge forward quite yet. We just want to work on blipping the throttle as we're compressing the suspension. So let's go to step three. All right, step three, this is where it all comes together. So we're compressing while we blip the throttle on the way down. Now the third step is actually going to be letting the clutch out as we extend our legs. Now I'm still just going straight up, and I'm not worried about getting a lot of traction or popping the front end up in the air. I'm not concerned with that yet. I just want to work on this coordination, and then we can determine where we want to keep our body or put our body to get more weight over the rear tire for specific obstacles.
So here's why I showed you all those clips at the start. The general concept will remain the same. We're going to build power as we're squatting weight downward, being mindful that the more weight we can get on that rear tire, ultimately the more momentum we'll be able to generate in a shorter distance.
For example, sometimes you might not be able to get the speed out of a corner to clear a jump, so you can use this concept to help bridge that gap. I would have kept twisting the throttle when I drove forward, the rear tire would have spun and washed to the side. If you're already stopped, stuck in a hole or on a rock, the same technique gets you moving again. You don't need momentum, and that's the point. 3 different situations, but the same concept.
Make sure to start small. Find a log, a speed bump, a curb, something low consequence. Don't worry about getting lots of drive forward or a massive blip of throttle yet. The goal here is to compartmentalize each step. This is what will eventually make the whole sequence automatic.
If we spin the tire on the obstacle, it's just going to move the obstacle or disturb the obstacle. But if we can create momentum before the rear tire gets to the obstacle and then control the wheel spin, we have much more traction, and then we don't kick the obstacle out from underneath us.
Once this starts to click, you're going to start seeing opportunities for it everywhere out on the trails. But let me know which of these you struggle with the most. The compression, the timing, or the release of the clutch. Drop it in the comments and I'll dig into it in another video. Make sure you guys are subscribed and hit that notification bell to make sure you know when my next video is coming out. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
A lot of times I really want to get some good technique practice, but I'm expected to be out here kind of keeping this place clean, working on keeping weeds out of here, so I can combine the two by working on my technique and kind of getting weeds pulled at the same time. But you're going to want to work on that delivering power as you're compressing the suspension, as you're extending your legs, you're letting off the throttle and letting the clutch out. This really helps break that weed apart and bust it out of the ground. And now it's summer, so hopefully we don't get new weeds popping up.